What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj NBA, and today I got something special, something different, something I haven't done in a long time. I feel like I've made a top 5 players in the NBA video before, but since the guys on Inside the NBA were doing it, and if you didn't know, these guys were they did a top 25 and they'd give us 5 players each week or something like that. And it's All-Star Weekend, they gave us their top 5. So I was thinking, you know what? I want to give you guys my top 5 because it's overdue. I haven't done it in a while, and I feel like it's a good idea because the NBA, as you guys know, is always changing, okay? We're not going to have the same top 5 for a very long time. Last year, I felt that the top 5 players were very intact, but this year, we got another guy who's the 5th on my list, who I believe is cracking that top 5 and taking a guy out of the top 5. I think someone's fell off out of the top 5 and someone's come into the top 5. I think it's actually, mixed up a little bit. My order from last year, you can check out my video. But yeah, so let's get into this. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like, comment idea down below. Comment your top 5 because you probably won't agree with me because, these guys, nobody had the same list. It's probably really hard to have the same list as somebody. There's just so many options, so many great players. And yeah, if you're new, you enjoy the channel, subscribe. Let's get into it. So I found that my list actually looked the most like probably I would say Shaq. I think Shaq 3, you'll see how it looks like Shaq. But I was looking over these and I'm thinking, some of them look good. Let's start with my number 5. My number 5, I think I said this already, maybe I didn't, but my number 5, only one person on this list had my number 5, and Chuck was the one person. My number 5 is James Harden. Chuck had him at 3, and for me, James Harden at number 5, I think that James Harden last year, if you told me that I was going to say that James Harden was a top 5 player, if you guys have been with the channel for a while, you should know that I wasn't a believer in James Harden. That didn't mean that I didn't believe James Harden was a star, because I did, and I knew that, and I knew that he was a great offensive player, but I thought that his defense held him back, his effort held him back, and I didn't really believe that he could do, well, what he's doing this season. He's the MVP favorite in my eyes. I didn't think he would do this. He proved me wrong. He shut me up, and he's going to get on my top 5 list for it. I'm surprised that only Chuck had James Harden on his list, and he had him at 3. He didn't even have him at 5. If one person's gonna have him, you'd think it'd be, a low rank. But Chuck also didn't have Steph Curry because I think he said that Klay Thompson is better than Steph Curry. He has a lot of things about, he has a lot of interesting opinions, maybe unpopular opinions, but, for me, James Harden had to crack this list. He's proving to me that he's more than what I thought. He's leading the league in assists, which is incredible. He's a great scorer. He's a great leader. His team is winning games, without another superstar on that roster, or at least another star on that roster. It's incredible what he's doing, and I think he deserves the spot. At number 4, I'm going with Kevin Durant. So my first similarity with Shaq here. Shaq had Kevin Durant at number 4. I'm going Kevin Durant at number 4. I feel like Kevin Durant is very good, but it's hard for me to give him credit. First of all, take a look at his efficiency if you haven't. He's a top 5 player, I think, for sure. I don't think you can leave him out of your top 5. He's extremely talented. But the thing is with KD, in my opinion, is that, when it comes to his efficient shooting, I don't look at that, because I believe that if any, guy like Kevin Durant is on a team with that many weapons, the shots you take are probably all going to be good shots, and you're probably going to, have to make over 50% of your shots, because that's just how it works on a team like that. You get so many weapons, your shots should be more open, your shots should be better shots, and the efficiency is not really mind-boggling to me. Why Durant stays in the top 5 is because his defense has been very good this year. His offense has been very good this year. But why he's so low is because I don't think he makes the Warriors that much better. I don't know what he does to this team that brings them over the top. You get another star, but you don't get another closer, which is something you needed. And this star, Kevin Durant, they've already lost as many games this year as they lost last year. The team, talent-wise, is probably better. But, when you add a top 5 player in the game to your squad, you're probably going to be better. But they are not winning more games. Kevin Durant, he's a great, great player, but I just think that what these guys, this top 3 guys, are doing, I think that's more impressive. I think these guys are better players. Kevin Durant at number 4. Now, Kevin Durant, if you guys had Kevin Durant 2 or 3, I wouldn't blame you. I just don't have the same beliefs. Again, like I usually say, or every once in a while I say this, this is my opinion, okay? You guys have your opinions. These guys and Inside the NBA have their opinions. It happens. We're not going to agree. A lot of you might think Kevin Durant's top 3, top 2. That's fine. You guys might think he's not top 4. That's fine too. Anyway, on to the list. At number 3, we're going to be going with Russell Westbrook. Now, Russ honestly is doing an incredible job this season in Oklahoma City. He has very little, to be ashamed of for himself. I mean, he's playing his best season of his career, at least statistics-wise. His team isn't winning as much as it had in the past. We obviously know why. Kevin Durant's not there. And on top of the fact that Kevin Durant's not there, you had Ibaka that left that team, and you just don't have a lot of quality players. And a guy like Westbrook, I would suggest surrounding Westbrook with shooters. They don't really have shooters. So they're the second worst three-point shooting team in the NBA. If the Bulls hadn't constructed the worst three-point shooting squad in NBA history that doesn't fit at all, they would be the worst in the NBA. Had to take a shot at the Bulls management, because when there's an opportunity to take a shot at the Bulls management, you got to do it. It's just, it's personal for me. Anyway, Russell Westbrook's been phenomenal. The fact that he's able to get that many assists is incredible to me, just based on the guys that he has. He doesn't have a lot of weapons that can just knock down a spot-up shot, really, or finish at the rim as well, but he makes those guys so much better. His team is somehow in the 7th seed, and they have a positive record. They're so bad when he's off the court, too. It's incredible. I think Russell Westbrook has been awesome this year. He's doing all he can. You couldn't ask for more than this. He's the LeBron for this team. If he's LeBron on the Cavs, if he's off the court, they struggle. When he's on the court, they're great. Same thing with Russell Westbrook. And I wouldn't say great because LeBron has better teammates than Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook, they're as good as they can be, because Russell Westbrook has been incredible this year. And I just think that the efficiency is just a little bit low for me to crack the top 2, which is why I'm going with Kawhi Leonard at number 2. Kawhi Leonard at number 2 might seem pretty high to some people, but I think I have good sufficient reasoning for putting him there. Kawhi Leonard is about to crack the 50-40-90 club as the first option, the only all-star on a team that is ranked 2nd in the NBA record-wise. These guys are legit number 2. They're championship contenders. They can fight the Warriors, in that conference finals. I think that's going to be great. If it happens, probably will happen. And the Spurs, they're as good as anybody. And their team isn't that great, but Kawhi Leonard makes them so good. This team is nearly as good as the Warriors. Take a look at, this is my reasoning, really, for having Kawhi Leonard over Kevin Durant, or any Warrior player for that matter, is just the fact that you look at who's surrounding Kevin Durant. Those guys, you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green all on that team. Those guys, all those 3 guys help your team win a hell of a lot more than anybody else on the San Antonio Spurs. I'm sorry, LaMarcus Aldridge, but LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't been having that great of a season this year. He's still a quality player. He's still a star player in this league. He can still score when you need him to. He's a great player in the playoffs, so that helps too. But I would take 4 Warriors over LaMarcus Aldridge. And just look at the records. They're only like 2, 3, 4 games behind the Warriors, and it's all because of Kawhi Leonard. This guy is doing everything. 26 points per game in like 33 minutes. He's grabbing a ton of rebounds. He only commits 2 turnovers a game. The dude is just rock solid. The team is amazing, doing amazing, and it's all because of him. He's a true leader. Don't forget about the playoffs either. Kawhi Leonard has shown that he gets up for the big matchups. You saw him play LeBron earlier in this season, 41 points against LeBron in a W, his career high. Of course, going up against the King and the Cavs, one of their biggest matches of the year. Would have been if the Warriors hadn't laid an egg on opening night where he dropped 35, his then career high. Think about that. 2 career highs on the 2 best teams besides the Spurs in the league. That's big stuff from Kawhi Leonard. Anyway, I was talking about playoffs. Kawhi Leonard's the Finals MVP. He's gone toe-to-toe with LeBron before. He's the best LeBron James defender in the NBA. He is the best matchup for LeBron James in the NBA. Not Kevin Durant. It's Kawhi Leonard, I think, because he can guard him as good as anybody, and he can score on anybody. He's got an incredible jump shooting game, mid-range game, ISO game, athleticism. he's so well-rounded. It's unbelievable. His playmaking, people are going to say maybe his playmaking isn't as good as like LeBron or KD. Maybe. But I think that Leonard beats KD in almost every other area. His playmaking, I don't think he really assist hunts. He makes the right pass. And he's not turnover prone at all. I just think he's so good. You want him on your team. He doesn't make really any mistakes. He's one of the most perfect players in the league. But then we have number 1, LeBron James. There isn't much to be said. LeBron James is still the greatest player in the NBA. While we're talking about Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double and James Harden almost averaging a triple-double, LeBron James is right there. I mean, he's only 2 rebounds and 1 assist away from averaging a triple-double, so he's pretty damn close as well. He's averaging 9 assists a game. To me, I think that LeBron James is the best playmaker in the NBA besides Chris Paul. I think that I'd rather have LeBron James running an offense in terms of his passing. His vision is unbelievable. Some of the best vision I've ever seen. His passing ability is unmatched. In my opinion, his best attribute is his playmaking ability, his ability to set guys up in the corners. He makes players better. Look at Channing Frye, look at Kyle Korver. Look at how they've just ascended since coming to Cleveland. He loves to play with shooters. Kyrie Irving has gotten so much better just because of LeBron James. Not to take anything away from Kyrie, but he's elevated because of LBJ and their team. No matter how, you look at how talented it is. They're bad when he's off the court. So he makes them that much better that when he's playing with them and he's on the court, they can look really good. But then when he's off the court, they can look pretty brutal. That's why he plays so many minutes. They lose a lot of games if he was playing less minutes. That's why he plays so many minutes anyway. But LeBron James also a great playoff player, a very underrated clutch player. A lot of people, they say that there's this narrative that LeBron's a choker. I don't buy into that at all. He's one of the smartest players in the NBA and NBA history, and he knows what to do down the stretch. He's cold-blooded when he shoots those deep threes, and he just knocks them down, and it's not even that great of a, he's at 39% from 3 this season, but still, you don't expect LeBron to be hitting crazy threes at the end of games, but he does it all the time. Anyway, LeBron's number 1. I don't really think there's a lot of debate about that. The debate should be, Kawhi Leonard at number 2, Durant at 4, Westbrook at 3. Those guys, you could switch those guys around. To me, they're very, very, very close. 2, 3, and 4, very, very close. James Harden just a little bit behind Kevin Durant, but he's still behind just because his defense. I'm sorry, I had to pick it out, but it's true. His defense isn't good enough to qualify for top 4. And then Steph Curry fell off the list. Crazy, right? He was amazing last year, but even with he's getting better shots this year. He's got KD. That takes shots away from him, but his percentages are down. That doesn't make any sense. Your percentages should be up. If you're playing with Kevin Durant, it means you're spacing the floor more. You're getting more open looks. But, it's fine. The Warriors are still winning games. But I think Curry's declined a little bit. He's still not that well-rounded. His shooting is still the key to his game, which is why I take these guys, because a lot of these guys don't have a key to their game. Any of these guys in the top 5. You take away their shooting, they can do a lot more. Curry, if you take away his shooting, I don't think there's a lot he can do. And his shooting's amazing, but I'm sorry. I'm taking him off this list. He's in the top 10 still. He's not falling all the way down off the top 10. He's still up there, but actually, I don't know. Maybe I should make a 6 through 10 video. Honestly, it's hard. These lists aren't easy to come up with. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and idea down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.